What is up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Live Locks here on RotoGrinders, but brought to you by Scores and Odds. If you haven't signed up for Scores and Odds yet, making bad life choices, go ahead and sign up. Free content. I'm going to be going through a whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to be telling you exactly what I'm betting, and I've got a host. Not sure how I feel about him, but he's here, Daniel Shavelson. How you
Well,
doing over there, Daniel?
what's going on, dude? Yeah, first off, for starters, I'm just excited. Like, I was happy to do anything where I'm not hosting. Not that I don't like hosting, but it's just fun to be on the other side of it, and not worrying about getting this in and getting things back on the rails, that kind of stuff. And the other part is, like, if you're not sure how you feel about having me on, you're the one that booked me. So if this doesn't go well, or if you're not happy to have me, you have one person to blame. Check out that mirror.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I make bad choices a lot, a lot.
I
If you've
regret
been
this
watching the
decision
show,
immediately.
somehow most of my losing days this month have been when I'm doing a show. But it hasn't gone great, it hasn't gone terrible. I've had about 12 bets missed by one. It's just how it goes. I mean, you have to realize if you're going for a 5 to 7% margin, which still isn't bad, you can still think about roulette. Anyone can win on roulette over the course of 100 spins. Like, that's the margin we're working with. So still up money this month myself personally, but on the show has not gone well. I mean, last night I went 6-1. I went 12-2 on my bets, but 6-1 over on my bets over on Scores and Odds. Happened to miss that day. If we would have had the show yesterday, you guys would have won a ton of money. But you know what? Things happen. But we got basketball. We got the Super Bowl coming up this weekend. I'm currently in a Top Shot drop, and I'm in 12,000 in line. We'll see. We'll see if I end up getting
27,000 over here. I don't know how many packs are dropping, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know either, but we'll see. I think it's just a stress test. So, you know what? I still jump in. Now it's just a hobby. I'm not trying to make money off of it, really. Like, I'm doing it for fun more than anything. I don't care if I make money. But yeah.
Well, that's the thing you can do when you win $300,000 sports gambling and you have money to play with. All of a sudden, now you get new hobbies. If you don't have $300,000, then hey, I want to make money doing this. So congratulations on that, Grant. Now you've entered a whole different tier, a whole new world.
Yeah. Someone saying Swaggy P, Bengals plus 4.5, easy money. I'm actually on the Bengals plus 4.5. I think that's the side I prefer. I'm going to bet it because I'm a degenerate. I'm not doing it to make much money, but that is the side that I prefer. Which side are you on of the spread?
I think the line is right. I probably will take the points as well too, but my one big cause of concern is the defensive line of the Rams versus the offensive line versus Cincinnati. We saw Burrow pull off a couple miracles before, but that line is rough. And, it doesn't matter how good your skill positions are. It doesn't matter how good Chase happens to be. If you can't, stop the pressure from the defense, it doesn't matter. Your skill positions are just null and void. And that's my concern. But, you're getting 4.5 points to play with to kind of deal with that concern, because otherwise they're kind of sort of even almost, right? Burrow's better quarterback. If you're going to compare the quarterbacks, I think he's better than Stafford.
Is Burrow a better quarterback?
I think so. Well, long term he's going to be. I don't know if he is today. I suppose.
Yeah, right now it's pretty darn close.
Close, sure. Yeah, I'll take the guy on the rise as opposed to the guy that's kind of plateaued, I suppose. But yeah, that's kind of my hiccup there. But Vegas, there's a reason why the number is 4.5, because that's probably the right number. And like you said, you're doing it mostly for fun, as a hobby, if you will. But I'm not taking a big stand oh, that's a great line or that's a bad line. I think it's basically where it should be, but I'll probably take the points like you are.
Yeah, no, exactly. I'm not trying to do it for money, but yeah, we're going to start going over some bets here. I mean, you can already see my screen. These are the bets I have. I went over the other day that I have Burrow under 36.5 passing attempts. I don't know if that's changed. I like Cam Akers over 15.5 receiving yards. I don't know if that's changed. Cooper Kupp, longest reception, over 29.5. I don't know if that's changed. I feel like I did bet something today. Oh, the one football bet I do have, it's over at DK. Second half total team points, Cincinnati over 10.5. I think they're going to be throwing the ball a decent amount. I think they could be behind after the first half. So I 10.5, I'm getting it minus 105. That just seems like a not great number. But yeah, that's the one football bet I have. Real quickly, going to go over just the two boosts that I hit today or that I like today. Man U, Everton, Man City, all to win over on FanDuel. Well, you know how I know it's a good boost?
It just amuses me that you're talking soccer or football, but yeah, go ahead, continue.
Yeah, well, I know it's a good boost because they limit me to $14.50. Any really good boost, they limit me very heavily. So if you want to bet $50 on it, so 50 to win, what is that? 175, so 50 to win 175. But yeah, that's kind of it. And then I keep hitting the boost. Like the Rams, the first team to score, was boosted to plus 200 on DraftKings yesterday. No, the day before. Beckham, 5+ receptions, was boosted to plus 100. The non-juice number, they said it was minus 173, but realistically it's probably closer to 150, 145. Still offering some decent value. DraftKings is coming out with one every single day between 6 and 8 Eastern, I think, is when you can bet it. So make sure to pay attention to that. Guys, any questions you have, anything you want us to see, any props, bets, spreads, money lines that you like or that you want to see on here, go ahead. We can give you our opinion, whether it's good or not. We can go through, we can check out RG projections, we can do whatever. But we're just going to be going through things. Generally runs about 30 minutes. Dean's on it, so I'm guessing it's going to run longer. But yeah, we'll just go. Do you own a t-shirt? This is a good question.
Yeah, sure, of course. I have undershirts. Yeah, why not? Of course.
Wow. Right? Do you generally go bareback under the?
Yeah. It depends, but generally, yeah, it's a general rule. We go, I don't know if bareback is the official term, but I understood what you're getting at.
I believe it's raw dog. Raw dog is the official term. But let's just get right into some bets. So I'm gonna start off with I like Oubre over 4.5 rebounds. Okay. I don't think he's hit it the last few games, but like without Hayward in there, he's getting 30+ minutes here. So like looking at his game log, 4, 6, 6, 9 over the last 4 games where he's actually been getting decent minutes. Most of those, it's a match versus Detroit. Detroit's not really a great team overall. Definitely not a great rebounding team. So Oubre over 4.5. I think we have him projected for closer to 6. Let's see. Oubre 5.5. 5.6. So offering a decent amount of value. Got it minus 104 or minus 110. Sitting at minus 104 right now over on FanDuel. And then I really like the Spurs Atlanta game. So Capella under 19.5 points / rebounds. Something I've been hitting pretty consistently.
They just stole all his minutes, basically. He's been undercut. He's like in the mid-20s nowadays. It's so weird.
He's low 20s. They don't play him in the 4th. They refuse to play him in the 4th. So like every single night, at halftime, he's at like 15. I'm like, this is going to be cutting it close. And then they'll take him out in the 3rd at like 18. I'll be like, I think I'm safe. And sure enough, pretty much safe every single night. And then over on the other side, like Pirtle has been a beast lately. Like absolutely fantastic. I have the over of his rebounds. I think I have the over of his points. Like you look at his game log, killed me the other night. Like absolutely destroyed me because I had a bunch of money on him and he just would not shoot. Only ended up with 7 points. Still had 11 rebounds. But you look at his game log, rebounds. His rebound prop is sitting at 8.5. 11, 10, 5. He got injured halfway through the second. 11, 7, 9, 10, 11, 8, 14, 12. Like he's playing minutes. He's getting boards. This line is way too low here. At 8.5, and
there was a rumor that he was going to get traded. There's a lot of speculation out there, so maybe he's excited for not getting traded. Who knows if that's kind of a thing? But yeah, I think that number is pretty good as well too. But walk back. Well, I guess we'll walk back to Charlotte because I have some thoughts as far as Rozier, and I happen to see him on your list. But I guess we'll get to that. You're just kind of jumping all over the place.
No, I mean, we can do whatever. I mean, I like everyone can see my bets. If you want to just throw in my bets, leave. You can do what you want. Hit the like button if you did that. Sign up for Scores and Odds if you make money. But like I have the bets I'm betting here. We'll probably throw some more in through the show. Dean's got some. We're going to check out the Scores and Odds prop model later on in the show. So it's right here. I'll get to that at the end and see what it likes. But it's been crushing it. The model it's like got a 60% win rate. It's up like 30 units in the last month. Like it's incredible. And I don't generally blindly hit bets. The prop model, I generally blindly hit bets. Like
Yeah.
This isn't something I was on, but F it, I'm in. But yeah, so you said you have a bet for Rozier?
Yeah, well, I just wanted to mention also, like, obviously, day after the trade deadline, there's some fluidity to who is in, who is out, and stuff like that. Charlotte did trade for Montrezl Harrell, and it seems like there's a pretty good chance he actually plays tonight, for what it's worth. Like, I saw some people talking about the Plumlee over on rebounds, and I don't know, maybe it looks fine on paper and theoretically and all that, but maybe Harrell eats some of those minutes. Not really sure how that's going to go down.
I saw one update of him earlier. Let me go back and figure it out.
Yeah, one of the beats was speculating like just as long as they pass their medicals and their physicals and all that kind of stuff, there seems like a decent chance. But and he's just one specific case, obviously. But like Derek White for Boston, is he going to play tonight? We have no idea. Tristan Thompson may play for Indiana tonight. We're not really sure. There are, of course, some other pieces that are kind of shuffling around. Marvin Bagley is not going to play tonight for Detroit. Yeah, so just kind of like there is some fluidity and things may change, and as is always the NBA, but like more so than most days. I think it's worth noting how that stuff may affect stuff. As far as Charlotte, by the way, Rozier, and it's funny, we have I looked on your sheet and we happen to have the two bets that I really, really like today, the ones you really like as well too, or at least they're on your sheet. So I don't know if I'm going to mush you or not, Grant. I don't know how you feel about this, but Terry Rozier over 19.5 points seems pretty solid, 23% usage rate. Detroit, horrific defensively. They're bottom 5 in the league. And the most important thing, of course, is Charlotte, how condensed the rotation is these days. 5 of the last 6 games, Terry Rozier has played at least 39 minutes, I think up to 41. The one game where he didn't was a blowout. The previous game, the 7th game, was like 37 minutes or so. And, once again, tonight, Charlotte is expected to be really, really thin. Harrell shouldn't really affect Rozier minutes too much. They did trade away Ish Smith as well, too. So, Ish Smith minutes probably turned into Book Night. Book Night didn't play last game. He probably plays tonight. So maybe that's just how that works, and it doesn't really affect things. But, the Hornets rotations are just crazy. It's just tight, man. I mean, Ball and Rozier and Bridges and Oubre, like those guys are all playing a ton of minutes. And the matchup, of course, against Detroit is really appealing. We don't know about Cunningham on the other side for what it's worth. I guess probably helpful if he plays to keep the game.
Yeah, just because it could stay closer.
Yeah, 7-point line, though. Nothing really to freak out about. So, we're in agreement as far as Terry Rozier tonight.
Nice. What was the other bet you really like?
Oh, this one hurts me, Grant. This one hurts me. I don't want to say it. And it's on your list, too. And it probably hurts you as well. Like, you know how much you love Desmond Bane? I feel that same love. I feel that same affection for the Joker, Nikola Jokic. I love Jokic. Love the Joker. But 9.5 assists is just a tick too many. What?
Yeah, every single time it goes up to 9.5, I just pound the under every single time. Like, look at his game log. He maybe, like, first of all, in the season, I think he's averaging like 7.5. And he'll occasionally have a big outburst, but most games like 7, 10, 9, 8, 15, 10, 8, 9, 8. Like, a lot of games he sits in the single digits. He only gets into the double digits like 30% of the time. So it's a tough matchup versus Boston. Sitting at 9.5 is silly to me.
I got research, Grant. I don't just, wake up and like do my hair really quickly and just, turn the cam on and join the show. 7.9 assists per game in the season for Jokic, for what it's worth. So you talk about Boston's defense. Boston's defense last 15 games, without question, not even close, not even a conversation, the best defensive rating in all of basketball by like 4 points or so. This is the front end of a back-to-back for what it's worth for Denver. So they're both on the road. They're both traveling. It doesn't necessarily mean a lot, but if this game is kind of sort of on the fringe of getting out of hand, maybe you get a little bit quicker hook than you normally would because they didn't, they have a game tomorrow night. And bearing the lead here, we're talking about assists, right? Boston allows the least amount of assists in all the association. Any team, 21.6. No team gives up fewer assists. They're the best defensive team in all of basketball last 15 games, basically this calendar year.
So assists is always an interesting thing. Like, you have to think about the rationale behind that. And obviously, the two biggest contributors to how many assists are given up are kind of similar to how many points are given up. Obviously, defense, how they run everything is going to be a contributing factor, but pace and defense are the two big, because it's the same thing with points. Like, points and assists are pretty heavily correlated. Points and assists given up per game are pretty heavily correlated. But I mean, there's obviously certain defensive schemes and how they run things and what they do and like how good their best defender is, if they're going to put him on a certain guy that's a big shooter, or if they're good at defending the two, a guy that's just stand in the corner is not really going to be effective that much. And a guy that like Clay going up against a great defender can obviously get shut down a little bit because he's not really creating his own. There's a whole bunch of different things that go into it. But really,
by the way, top assist teams in the league, and like it kind of speaks to what you're saying. Portland gives it the most assists. About that's no surprise. The Lakers number 2, Charlotte number 3, Minnesota, Atlanta, Detroit, Houston. Like none of that is shocking, right?
Yeah, all fast-paced teams, all bad defensive teams.
And the other part is like no Morris for Denver, and it's just like you look at that Denver roster, like he's a great passer, incredible passer. Who's gonna make those passes pay off? Like that Denver, the pieces around him stink. Is kind of the point I'm making. So look, he's gonna get his assists because he's gonna have assist opportunities, but I don't know how efficient they're gonna be. I'm looking at Gordon, Green, Barton, Bones Highland. We're projecting to draw the start. Forbes is the guy that can make a shot. Rivers can make a shot too, but I feel pretty good about this one under the assist number. I mean, and it seems pretty clear you agree as well.
Yeah, and you'd see Dallas Stars -2. Not really sure why I bet that. I got a guy. I got a guy.
You got a hockey guy?
I got a guy. I got a guy.
Oh man, I got a hockey guy too. By the way, he goes by a certain soft beverage.
Coca-Cola?
No.
Mountain Dew?
No.
No, it's Pepsi.
they own Mountain Dew. It's under the Mountain Dew. The Mountain Dew's in their franchise.
True that.
Dallas, they play Winnipeg. Okay. All right. Did not know that. Yeah. Just bet the Panthers every night. Panthers best team in hockey. Represent.
No, Avalanche are.
No.
It's pretty darn clear that it is the Avalanche. And I don't know much about hockey. They've been on like a 15-game home winning streak, I believe.
You know what's funny? The Avalanche are first in the Western Conference, and the Panthers are first in the Eastern Conference. So I didn't know. I know the Panthers were crushing. But yeah, Colorado's doing well as well. A rematch of the 1995 or 96 Stanley Cup Finals. Van Beesman,
no idea about that. Absolutely no idea. I have been to multiple Stanley Cups, but that's beside the point.
There you go. Yeah. I live right around the corner from the I grew up around the Panther Stadium for what it's worth. But go ahead. You suck into know. Well, what Stanley Cup Finals did you go to?
Ducks, Kings.
Oh yeah, weren't you like a season ticket holder back in the day?
2007 to 2008, I was a season ticket holder to the Ducks. Can't name more than 10 players in the NHL right now, but
it's the best sport to go to live, though, right? The biggest.
Not even remotely close. It's by far the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely love hockey live. I need to get to some Avalanche games. But yeah, so looking at this, other bets, let's see, DeRozan over 28.5 points. Bet I hit every single day pretty much, and it's been crushing. I mean, 240 total in this game. Chicago has not been playing. Yeah, Chicago has not been playing great defense. DeRozan 36, 38, 45, 31, 28, 29 over the last 6 games. He is on an absolute tear right now. 28.5 is too low. I think the RG projections are also in agreement with me there. I think I actually gave this up. Yeah, has him projected for 30.74. So pretty solid overall number here. Really like that. DeRozan under 6.5 assists. Dosumu might be coming back. Probably going to eat into his assist numbers. I did bet Mason Plumlee over 14.5 points plus rebounds. Don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah, how do you feel with Trezl possibly, Montrez possibly coming back tonight? Because
I definitely feel worse about it.
You got to think he's going to play more minutes than Nick Richards. I don't know how many minutes he's going to get, but he's going to get more than Richards, I think. I mean, of course, Washington can play the 5 as well too, and Detroit doesn't necessarily have a bunch of big dudes where you can kind of go small in this game. Olynyk could be playing the 5 in the back end, and then second unit, things like that. He'll play 20 minutes or so, but. Yeah, we haven't seen it before. We're just going to be guessing, but you got to think he's ahead of Richards and whatever run Richards has been getting. So I think what do we have? Are we projecting minutes for Harold? Don't have that just yet as far as a projection?
I think we have a projector for out.
Okay.
Questionable. We actually haven't projected in.
Yeah, because the news suggests. Let's see. Oh, I'm looking at our lineup HQ tool. Maybe he's not in the player pool on DK, and that's why his minutes are not popping up. I bet that's what's going on. I think he's in FanDuel though.
Yeah. And, so even with, let me update the scores and RG projections. So even with Plumlee only projected for 26, he's still projected to easily hit his over on points and rebounds. Looks like the best line's over at MGM right now.
We're giving 22 minutes to Harrell, by the way.
Yeah.
Seems all right.
Yeah, that seems entirely fine. Let's see. Other bet. LaMelo over 6.5 rebounds. We have him projected for like 8.5. I think that was Oubre under 1.5 assists. Prop model likes it. I'm blindly betting it. The one that I really want to get your input on, Halliburton over 6.5 assists. I love it. I absolutely love it. I get there's a whole lot of unknowns. But
okay, so are you assuming Brogdon's not playing?
Doesn't matter if Brogdon plays or not.
Well, I mean, it would help if he's not playing.
It would help, but I still like it regardless. I'm under the assumption that Brogdon's not going to play, in which case this is an absolute smash. Looking at his numbers recently, it's been incredible. Like he's hit this in 14 of the last 15 games, I believe. 17, 6, 11, 8, 7, 7, 7, 12, 12, 10, 8, 9.
Okay, but many of those games he was the main ball handler because Fox was out. Now, if he plays tonight and Brogdon does, I don't think he's the main ball handler. I think he's the secondary guy to Brogdon. Now, the number is still pretty low where you can get there. But if you see Brogdon out, like smash, pounce, whatever adjective you want to use on Halliburton over, that's one of those where you might have the tab open and ready to go. Like I don't know how many seconds you have to wager that. Like once you see the news,
depends on what side. If you're gonna do, I think that MGM and Caesars are the two slowest to get those in there. So just for your guys' reference, let's take a look at the RG prop model, and what I immediately see certain one so LaMelo under 8.5 assists. I probably am going to end up betting that. I bet his over on assists the other night and crushed my soul. But 8.5, he's been hitting it at a decent clip on games that have stayed close. This game is not projected to stay close. It's a 7-point spread, so decent chance of a blowout
out there though. But it's a 7-point game with 3 minutes to go. He's not off the court.
Yeah, I know, but there's still a decent chance of a blowout. It is Detroit. There's a decent chance of a blowout, and plus Charlotte's one of those teams that tends to get blown out or blow out guys pretty often. Just because they're a weird team.
Well, they're that's team. They take a lot of threes, and threes can be variable. So yeah, if you're on, you can blow it. They can beat any team by 15 or 20, or lose any team by 15 or 20.
Yeah. So the biggest thing that we have is Goga under 19.5 PRA, Goga under 18.5 PR, Goga under 13.5 PA, Goga under points, Goga under assists, Goga under rebounds. I'm probably going to put a hefty amount of money on that. Evan Mobley under 2.5 assists. I'm probably going to end up betting that. Let's see what it has. He hasn't gotten over. He's only gotten over 2.5 assists once in the last 7 games, 6 games. So I think I'm probably going to end up betting that. Let's see, DeRozan under 6.5 assists. I already bet that. Mobley under 8.5 rebounds. I don't love that. Indy has some pretty decent guys, but the Goga unders are the main things. And then as for the overs, Isaiah Stewart over 19.5 points, rebounds, assists. Who did they just trade off? No, they traded for Bagley. That was it. I don't know who they got rid of. I don't mind that one. I might end up betting that one. Marcus Smart over 5.5 assists. I might be on that. And then, I look for ones that are over 15. So over 14, over 15. So I'm probably going to end up betting those. What were the other bets that you had?
So just by the way, White is in Boston as of 1:00 today. Derek White from the Spurs, they traded for him. Of course, they got rid of Schroeder, and Boston theoretically could have a really, really, really tight rotation today. We don't really know as far as who if White's going to be available, but he may be. He's in town, he's ready to go. If medicals work on both sides, maybe he plays tonight. And I don't know how much run he's going to get, but maybe it's a slight tick against a guy like Smart. But probably not. He's probably mostly playing like the Schroeder stuff. He's not going to get the same burn that he had in San Antonio. That's for sure.
I don't think he's getting the same burn that Schroeder got.
Yeah, I don't know what he's getting. It's kind of the question. But like it's definitely a significant hit, and I'm not really sure we have mids projected for him right now because we're not officially sure if he's in or if he's not in. I was just kind of looking at other stuff as we were talking. Facu Campazzo, we're expecting to get dusted off today for Denver as well, with Morris being out. That's probably more of a DFS thing, just kind of sort of somewhat interesting.
Yeah.
And I was looking at, you were talking about Goga Batadze, and that's a weird one, right? Because Indiana, we know how they absolutely got destroyed by Vukovic when their center, and I use that with like hand. I'm doing the air quotes. It was Terry Taylor, all like 6'6" of them, just got destroyed by Vuk in Cleveland. With lots of big boys on the Cleveland side with Mobley and Allen and Love. You can't really go small against this team, so you'd think that they would need the size and the girth of Goga Batadze. Now they may have Tristan Thompson available. And Isaiah Jackson may be available. I've not seen anything updated on those guys, but there's a chance that's the kind of stuff that can eat in the Goga. But theoretically, if you're betting overs, you want Thompson and Jackson out. And I don't know how much Taylor at the 5 they can play, but whoever it is, it's going to be struggling out there when Goga's not out there. But he's also another guy who just can't play a ton of minutes. They usually keep him like in the mid-20s or so. I had Boston beating Denver pretty hard today. I wish the line didn't jump up. I think it was 4.5 earlier today. Now it's 6. Boston has won 8 of 9. They've been blowing out some teams as well too. Just like I said, the best defensive team in all of basketball, been crushing. Denver, a team they didn't improve. They didn't get anybody. They lost Morris again. It's not a good team after Jokic. It's like one of the worst teams in basketball, like 2 through 7, however you want to do it. Healthy bodies. I like Boston on the alt lines. Boston minus 12.5, 230 plus 230, minus 16.5 plus 370, minus 22.5 plus 830. I think Boston just rips them. I just think there's a decent chance that Boston just pummels Denver tonight. Not national TV, it's not ESPN. There's no ESPN game tonight, but it's NBA TV, whatever that's worth. But
I think Denver wins.
What? Why?
Because you're a mush.
Oh, is this the move? Like, you throw me on the show and just whatever I say, just take the opposite? Is that the idea?
When it comes to betting, what's it called?
Alt lines?
Alt lines. I generally go against you.
All right, fair enough. I got another one for if you want another one, unless you want to share your thoughts.
Go ahead, throw it out there.
Yeah, so maybe this one will wet your whistle. This might get you excited. And the idea of betting on like 2 or 3 plays, of happening, it's kind of tricky, and the predictability is a little bit rough. And 3 points shots is just like you're going to shoot 10 or 11 times from 3. Are they going to make 3 or 4? Are they going to make 1 or 2? It's hard to say sometimes, but I don't know why I'm saying 3-pointers. I'm talking Matisse Thybulle. Matisse Thybulle over 1.5 steals, minus 125. He's 5th in the league as far as steals per game at 1.7. Of course, he doesn't play 36 minutes. He doesn't play as much run as other guys. So his per 36 is 2.4 steals per 36 minutes. Maxey is not, he's questionable. We don't know if he's playing or not.
Max is questionable. Shakes, questionable.
James Harden, definitely not playing. They traded away Curry as well, too. Traded away his son-in-law there. How about that? OKC yields the 4th most assists per game. We're projecting him to play 32 minutes or so. It's a bad line. I don't want to say a bad line, but never really fun to lay 175, but minus 175 on the over 1.5 steals and blocks. OKC gives up the 4th most steals and the 2nd most blocks, and Thybulle averages like 1.7 blocks per 36 as well too. This just feels like a great stock game for Matisse Thybulle. He doesn't have to do anything else. Especially when Harden comes in, he does not need to do anything but just play really good defense. He's a 3-and-D with just all D. Great defense. His 3 is kind of sketchy, but who cares about that when it comes to this bet? I think he works perfectly with the teammates that are coming in, the construction of this team. And I'm predicting Thybulle to get over more than 2 steals tonight, or 2+ at minus 125. Did I sell you on Matisse Thybulle?
Not quite. I'm looking.
I gave the hard
did you
sell.
get it at?
What?
What odds did you get it at?
Minus 125. I believe it was on DK Sportsbook.
Yeah, minus 120 over on Caesars and MGM, just so you guys know. I don't hate it. Yeah, I don't hate it.
Yeah, it's happening.
Well, now I kind of hate it because you jinxed it. Yeah,
I did not mush the Nuggets.
yeah,
Wait.
Well, you did. I don't know. You mushed a lot of things.
If I had that ability, you would just. I mean, come on. It's not. You're either a mush or you're not. It's either a jinx or it's not. There's no such thing as a selective mush.
Anything you're very for, I oftentimes like to go against. You mush. Not that you're not prepared. Not that you're not knowledgeable. You're just a mush. Guys, if you want a list of the bets I made, throwing them in the RG Discord, go to rotogrinders.com/Discord and sign up for the Discord. It's free. There's free channels, premium channels. Sign up for Scores and Odds, but I am dropping into the live chat.
What's up, chat?
Yeah, go ahead and drop it in there. Thoughts on Embiid first half, overs first half? I'm guessing it's probably sitting around 14.5, 15.5. I don't hate it. He tends to come out pretty hot in the first half. It's a big spread. Philly has a decent total. I don't hate the first half over for Embiid, depending on what.
He might get it in the first quarter.
Yeah, he's done that many times. Like,
look at that OKC side, Grant. And sometimes it's just as simple as like, you have all the numbers in the world and all that kind of stuff. But just look at that OKC roster and tell me who's going to subdue Embiid. And Embiid's feeling great. He's thrilled that Harden's on layaway. He's coming back.
Yeah, and he doesn't have Seth Curry anymore, big offensive guy. He might not have Shake. He might not have Maxey. He might be the entirety of that offense going up against a team that can't stop him. Sometimes numbers just point to, like, if he's going to have a 40% usage going up against a bad defense. Yeah, I don't mind the over. I don't know where I can bet the first.
What is the number? I was trying to find it because I think it was like 33 or so as far as total points. I'm like, that's a really big number, and there's a chance he only plays 3 quarters. But the first half, right? Like, he should really demolish the likes of, Derek Favors and like Poku or Kenrich Williams, whatever they're going to throw. Baisley, what are they going to throw at him? Come on, get out of here. It's not happening.
Yeah, it's going to be bad. But yeah, I think that's about the show. Any last minute things to add?
I got one more for you. I got a fun one. Do you want a fun one?
Yeah.
The first song played during the Super Bowl halftime show. Of course, it's it's a Mary J. Blige, Jay-Z, Eminem, Kendrick Lamar. The next episode, that there was kind of sort of somewhat a leak that might the odds have shifted on that one dramatically. I think I saw Pat Mayo say it was still plus 138. It's got Dre and it's Snoop and Nate Dogg and Corrupt. I'm not sure if they're going to be here or not, but and it just feels like a song that just opens up a Super Bowl set. If you know the song, I'm sure you know the song. Yeah, and again, there's very whenever you see those leaks, and there's a leak in the national anthem as far as a bunch of people just like smash bet the over. I think after Warren Sharp tweeted something out. I feel pretty strongly like they're not going to change the Super Bowl. That they've been working on this for months, right? As far as the set and everything, the song is the song, and like that makes a lot of sense. And the odds did change, but not dramatically enough. It's plus 138. The next episode is opening the halftime show. You probably can only bet like $50 on it or something like that. I don't know, whatever it is. They limit those, of course, for reasons. It makes sense, but that's a fun one for you. I don't like the color of Gatorade or whatever. I didn't do any research on that, but I thought that was an interesting one.
Interesting one. Who will the Super Bowl 56 MVP thank first? Team teammates are plus 100. City fans plus 275. God religion plus 350. I'm going with family at plus 800.
It depends who's most likely to be the winner.
So I'm kind of going off of Stafford or a defensive player.
Yeah.
I could see Stafford thanking family first.
Really? Family?
Yeah.
What, congratulations first. I'd like to thank my family. That's not the first. You really hear that? I feel like I don't hear that very often.
I mean, plus 800 is pretty good odds. There's a reason.
But nobody ever opens up that. Like, congratulations. How do you feel? I'd like to thank my family first. You don't hear that.
Yeah, I mean, teammates are generally first, but there's a reason.
Is Kurt Warner playing? Because then the God one might. But I don't know what. Like there's certain guys that's
Jalen Ramsey would thank God first.
Okay, yeah. That's I mean, I know it's really crazy like to go dig into that kind of research, but like certain people are just that's what they go for first, and that's that. I don't know what Stafford's deal is, but I know there's a lot of like pictures of him being like the typical frat boy at like Georgia, but that was many years ago. But I don't know how that's helpful in this particular question. But I don't know. Yeah, I haven't thought about that. What's the favorite? Is God the favorite?
Teammates.
Yeah,
plus 100. City fans is actually number 2. I don't think like I would see Burrow thanking City fans first.
Who they?
But Stafford probably teammates.
I love that this is a thing you can wager on. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's so absurd.
Yeah. Anything else before we get on out of here?
I got nothing else. I don't have any strong leans or anything else. I've not dug in fully into the Super Bowl just yet, and I'm sure I'll have something goofy tomorrow. Maybe I'll throw it out in the old Twitter machine or something like that. But the next episode, I don't know how much you can wager on that, Grant, but get in on it.
I don't see it on Caesars, or on DK, but I have to look through a lot of different things. I'm gonna have to throw out a lot of bets. But yeah, Luke Cornett gonna be signed for the rest of the season with the Celtics.
Oh, okay. What team was he on? Was he just like a guy lurking around? Where was Luke Cornett? I don't remember.
Who knows?
I can pick him out of the lineup, but I'm like, I don't remember him playing this season.
I remember him being on Chicago one year when they were decimated,
yes.
And then on the Knicks for a little bit.
I think so. That checks out. But I feel like he hasn't played basketball in the association this year.
I mean, I think he's on the Celtics. We're going to look at this, and then we're going to get on out of here. Not Luke Corns, Luke Cornett. Luke Corns is apparently a person.
I'm not aware of that person.
He was on Milwaukee this year. He was on. Yes, he was on Chicago, the Knicks, Boston for a short stint last year, Cleveland and Milwaukee. Played a total of 11 minutes. So, yeah.
Hey, you mentioned Milwaukee. I'm just curious. Do you have a thought on this? Milwaukee had Boogie Cousins earlier this year, and they just let him go. They let him walk. And I think there was some sort of money reasons for that, too. And there was thought that they might send him again down the road. Of course, Denver picked him up. But now they went ahead and traded for Ibaka. And I think that means that, like, maybe Brook Lopez is toast, or they're concerned about Brook Lopez not coming back. But
I mean, they're probably a little bit concerned, but they also just need a big for now. An extra big.
I guess, yeah. I guess my question was like, do you think that they think that Ibaka is better than Cousins, or is it just a predicament they kind of put themselves in?
I think it's their predicament.
Okay, yeah, because I mean, I feel like Cousins is probably better than Ibaka now. Like, they're both obviously different degrees.
Cousins is a perfect fit for Denver.
Yeah, he works with that. I mean, yeah, Denver's not going anywhere, obviously. I mean, they're going to make the playoffs and whatever, but, they are limited because it's basically a one-man team. But, yeah, he's a good backup for Jokic.
Yeah. Yep, agree. All right, guys. Well, it's been fun. Daniel, thanks for joining us here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I enjoyed it. I hopefully I was able to not mush too many things, but
well, we'll see how the bets turn out. We'll see if you contributed or not. But we'll see if I contribute anything good. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. We'll be back again next week on Monday, I believe. Who knows who will be on Monday? I might have set someone up. I might not have. I entirely forgot. I need to start putting up a schedule for this. But thanks for joining us, guys. We're out of here. See you, kids.
Out.